Alright y'all, here's a classic pattern that takes no time to make. So just sit back and watch. Here's a list of everything you need to make the beaded wristwatch. Once you have everything you need, you're going to start by taking your string and matching up the ends, making a loop on the other end of the string. You'll take your two matched ends of string and you're going to run those around the loop, creating a second loop, a much larger loop. You'll take those two matched ends of string and you're going to run them through the big loop. Continue to hold the small loop and pull the two ends of string tight until you have made the knot. Tighten the knot until you've created a loop this size. Once the loop is finished, it's time to add on rows of beads. To add on a row of beads, you're going to take one end of the string and we're going to add 2 beads to that string. We're going to take our other end of string and we're going to run it through the beads as well, going in the opposite direction. Once you get your string through both of those beads, you're going to pull both ends of those string until you reach the top, creating the first row of this pattern. The 2 yellow beads represent the clasp of the watch. This is how it should look. Now it's time to add on additional rows of 3 for the wristband. Keep repeating these steps when making additional rows. Add your beads to one end of the string. You'll take your other end of string, run it through the beads as well, going in the opposite direction, and pulling both ends of the string until you've reached the top. For the wristband, I decided to use green and orange for the color scheme. Leave a comment below and let me know what colors you think would work best. The 8th row will be the start of the face of the watch, using 3 yellow beads. Once you've reached the 9th row, you'll see we'll start adding on more beads to the rows to create the pattern of the clock. With the blue beads to represent the hands and the white as the background of the face of the watch. To keep the larger rows from bundling up, we're going to use a toothpick in between those rows to stabilize and keep them straight, breaking off the toothpick on the end to hide the rest of the stick. Just continue to follow the pattern and finish off the face of the watch. Once you finish the 14th row, we're back to making 6 rows of 3 for the wristband. As this pattern may fit some, to make the watch larger, you can add on additional rows on each side to make it the perfect size. For the final row, we'll use 2 beads once again for the clasp of the watch. Once you finish that final row, we're going to take both ends of the string, wrap them around, creating a loop, pulling the 2 ends of string through the loop, pulling it tight to create a knot, pushing the knot close to the beads to lock them in place. To make this watch wearable, we're going to take both ends of string and we're going to add 1 bead to the string. Once you have that bead on the string, Once again, using the same steps, we're going to create a knot to lock that bead in place by taking your 2 matched ends of string, wrapping them around, creating a loop, taking the 2 matched ends and running them through the loop, pulling the string tight until you've made a knot. Cut off any additional string, leaving about an inch of remainder. To put on the watch, you'll take the 2 matched ends of string and you're going to run those through the loop. You'll get your wrist inside of the watch and you'll pull the loop past the bead to lock it on. And there you have it, your very own wristwatch. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial as much as you might enjoy your watch. If you have anything you'd like to add, comments or suggestions, don't be afraid to leave a comment below. And if you haven't already, you can also subscribe if you want to be notified for the newest episodes of TurboBeads. And I'll see you next time.